Namaste and hello everyone. Today me and Nimisha have decided to talk about Garbhakar Bhav and its importance. It is said that baby chooses his parents before taking birth. So when it decides to come, its soul affects the energy of mother and father and prepare them for copulation or sex. This is one theory which Ayurveda also supports by saying that when couple decides to have a baby, they should prepare themselves physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to welcome the baby. So today I will talk about six Garbhakar Bhav. The first three Bhav can be worked upon before conception, and the next three Bhav can be worked upon after conception. So six bhavs are, first is Matrij Bhav. It provides all the maternal factors, ovum, diet and lifestyle. It gives all soft structure to the blood, to the baby, that is blood tissue, fat and all organs. Second is Pitraj Bhav, which provides with all the paternal factors, sperm, diet, lifestyle. Then it gives heart structure to the baby like bones, ligaments, hair, etc. Third is the Atmaj Bhav, which provides soul to the fetus. It gives intellectual ability and communication skills and provides with knowledge of self. Fourth is Satmaj Bhav. It provides with tolerant factors. It gives inbuilt strength and immunity. Rasaj Bhav is the most important Bhav. It provides with nutritional factors. Here, mother's diet and nutrition are mainly responsible for physical and mental growth of a baby. Satisfaction, enthusiasm, these characteristics are inherited through Rasaj Bhav. So now is the sixth bhav, that is Satmaj bhav, provides with psyche or mind-related factors. All the three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamgun, are the major characteristics a child gets from this bhav. As I have touched the basic points of all the Garbhakar bhavs, now I would like to relate them to my stories. First three bhavs are prominent in my first story, and the last three bhavs play a role in my second story. So here is my first story, my unplanned pregnancy. It was completely unplanned. I was not ready for it. Initially, I did everything for it to go wrong. Then slowly I accepted it as inevitable course of my life. I felt no detachment, no attachment with the baby, did everything needed with complete indifference. It was a normal delivery though, but these traits of mine got transferred in my baby. His major characteristics are detached attitude and neutral state of mind. Clearly, Matrij Bhav affected him completely. He has lots of intelligence and balanced attitude, shows his Pitraj Bhav dominant. Then his soul had decided to take birth. No matter what adverse conditions were, shows his Atmaj Bhav was predominant. Did not know then that this detached quality of his will make his personality like a yogi. Now coming to the second story, again it was unplanned, completely unplanned pregnancy, but the difference was this time I was very happy and welcomed the baby with open arms. God wanted to test me probably because other areas of my life were quite stressful and faced lots of unprecedented challenges throughout my 9 months. My Rasaj, Satmaj and Satvaj bhavs were completely disturbed. I delivered a C-section obviously as there was fetal distress. The baby was very cranky and fearful. Then I could not provide him with sufficient breastfeed as I always was under stress. That shows my Matrij Bhav was not being taken care of. Therefore, could not provide healthy environment inside the womb, and so fetal distress happened. This point out my Satmaj Bhav completely disturbed because there was no healthy eating and the physical part was missing where I was not taken care of. He was very cranky and angry as a baby. That shows that my Sattvaj Bhav was not balanced, as the anxiety was always there. He was not sound emotionally. So initially, few couple of years, me and my husband has to work a lot on him, very patiently and lovingly, and with utmost care to pacify his Rajagun. Today, I am proud to say that both of my sons are very responsible, confident, and wonderful human beings. I am sure you are able to connect all the dots and the bhavas with both of my stories. Inspired by this course, though, heaven forbid, if at this age I have to go for a baby, I would do everything differently. First and foremost, I will take care of my physical and emotional state by doing yoga and pranayam regularly. Talking about yoga and pranayam, I will ask Nimisha to elaborate more on this subject. Over to you, Nimisha, and thank you, everyone.
Hello, everybody. Let's get into the journey of this practical session now, Yoga for Couple. A vast research into the detailed process of conception has made us to go to the ancient art of yoga. And a conceptualized yoga plan helps a female to conceive naturally. Yoga asanas create a better blood circulation to the reproductive organs of the couple. It provides a balance in exercising the mind and body and creates a lighter environment for a couple to successfully conceive in a natural way. Since stress affects hormone levels as well, but meditation will help reducing these stress levels and balance the hormones. So let's get into the journey of yoga asanas, pranayams, mudras, relaxation, meditation, and shatkriyas. Here comes Brahmari with Sukhasana posture, meditation in Padmasana, and Vajrasana with Yoga Mudra. When you use these peaceful poses, it draws you inwards, what you desire for, meditate on your goals, and relax into your thoughts. Your body will thank you by becoming calmer, lowering your blood pressure, and grounding itself to help you invite in what you have been seeking. Helps you rejuvenate your body and increase your fertility for conception and hence manifest your desire. Malasana, Paschimottanasana, and Baddha Konasana. When you practice these asanas, it helps you strengthen your pelvic muscles and hence there is a better blood circulation in your abdominal and pelvic region. Virbhadrasana, Ushtrasana, and Prasarita Padottanasana opens and stretches your hips and lower body, flushing fresh and blood to the lower regions. It evacuates your body to open up, accept, and get ready to experience the pleasure of parenthood. Ardhahalasana, Viprit Karni, and Setu Bandhasana. These are the asanas which are a great way to stir those sperms towards your fallopian tubes. So relax in this posture with your legs raised up or on the wall. Utilize the gravity which helps the sperms to travel towards the goals. Bhujanga Asana opens the chest and shoulders, hence improving your respiratory organs and building up your immunity system to a greater level. It increases the flow of blood in the pelvic and reproductive organs. So focus on your breathing and enjoy the stretching sensation that you get. While exhalation, just release your stagnant anxieties. Setu Bandhasana allows the blood flow to your pelvic region to open and expand and increase the stimulation of the reproductive organs. After the journey of asanas, we get into the journey of pranayams. With that, we practice Dirgha Pranayam, Nadi Shodhan, Ujjayi, Brahmari, and Bahya Kumbhak. For mudras, we do Viprit Karni Mudra and Ashwini Mudra. Relaxation goes for Yoga Nidra. Meditation, you can follow any guided meditation or any Om chanting or any mantra chanting meditation. And in Shatkriyas, practice Kapalbhati and Basti. So I hope you are convinced with all the sets of theory and asanas and pranayams which we took towards, and hope expecting you to start with this journey. Thank you all and have a good day.